So, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a continuation of the transitions in the Be Aware series. Part of that is really being aware. Everything's always in transition. You know, nothing truly stays the same. Everything, even your inanimate objects, rocks, soil, concrete, whatever, everything is always in a transition state. For us as humans, part of that transition and change, we need to be aware. You know, we make attempts at doing things we think are, you know, it's that whole intentions scenario. Doesn't always match. We make mistakes, and in order to help not have those mistakes happen numerous times, sometimes it takes us several times of these mistakes to finally get that wake-up call to become self-aware, or to take those steps. Okay, I mean, it takes a long time to become fully self-aware, but to start taking those steps to become self-aware, be more mindful in our actions, in our daily lives, and going from there. The ebb and flow of everything throughout your life, whatever it is that you believe in, your version of spirituality, it's immense. It has a huge impact on you. Just trying to be aware of those things overall, you know, as far as your values, your culture, your sense of community that you belong to. So part of that change is we're going to go ahead and hi. So this is me, and yeah, welcome. Thanks for coming. The last few weeks, month and a half, month-ish, has been a lot of internal transition, trying to develop that self-awareness, trying to find out kind of not necessarily what makes me tick, but becoming more mindful, becoming more aware of the people that I interact with. I don't interact with a lot of people. For those who do know me, I don't have, I have a large circle of people that I know, yes. I have a very much smaller circle that have known me for probably way too long for them. The decades now is just, you know, we hope that we grow. I hope that I have grown. I hope that I've calmed down. My stepbrother had actually told me that this is the calmest that he has ever known me during a recent trip. Kind of took me off guard because I didn't realize I was that amped up previously. So it took me off guard. A lot of other things have gone on, but this is about becoming aware and trying to find those tools, because there's not, I mean, there's so much out there, but there's no real like definitive list of you need to do A, B, C to get to X, Y, Z. You know, it's what works for me may not work for someone else, and what works for someone else may not work for me, but it's making those attempts and trying to find out what actually works. That's a key factor, because if you don't try, then you won't know, right? It's kind of like trying a meal. If you don't like it, you don't like it, you know, or if it doesn't fit, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't fit. So, but the thing about this is when we are doing these attempts, it needs to come from the heart. I mean, like, you have to want it. It can't be, I'm just going to read this book and it's going to fix everything. And that's not going to work. If these, like I said, I believe in one of the other ones is, if these videos reach one person and it just kind of allows that light bulb to click and they're like, that that is immense, that is huge for me, and or if it even just gets them started on the right path, that's a big deal. Because once you start on the path of trying to have that self-awareness and that self-reflection, you have to stay on it. You can't just stop. You can't stop and say, hey, this is it, this is, whatever, this is where I'm staying, I'm good, this is it. Because I know, so little back brief, prior to leaving the Army, I was seeing a behavioral health person, and we hit our limit, and then they were like, hey, there's no red flags, there's nothing that says that we need to continue this on. So we hit our appointment limit, and you're, unless something else happens, that's kind of where we had to stop. And me, I didn't ask the questions of how can we continue on, how can I continue to improve, what other steps. I was just like, okay, thanks, bye. And then after leaving, had some events, and now I'm starting that process all over again from scratch, basically. And you take those steps forward to take those steps backwards, everything else. But you have to stay on the path. You have to keep trying, and it's hard. It's rough. I mean, there are days where, in one of the low energy videos, or in the low energy video rather, I talked about there are days where you just want to stay in bed. You don't want to do anything. And I know it's hard. It's rough. It's not easy, and it's not going to be easy, especially starting out, because it's scary. I know it's scary for me. I was not a big internal type looking person. I could help other people. I was a helper. I wanted to help other people. I still do. Don't get me wrong. But I wanted to help. I wanted to fix. I wanted to do. And you could see all these things, or I could, anyways. I could see, and just trying to. I don't know why. It's like you could read someone's emotions. You could talk with them. You knew something was wrong with them. One of the tools I'm going to talk about, and I call them tools because these things are not one size fits all. Take what you can from it, learn what you can from it, but don't wrap everything up around this. Okay, so this, what I'm about to talk about, is the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs personality type indicator. Okay, so Carl Jung many years ago kind of came up with this list and said, hey, these are the major personality types. That's not to say that everybody fits neatly. This isn't, a square peg in a square hole. There are some people that may fall right on the cusp, right on the line of these things. Okay, I mean, and there's a multitude of websites out there that ask all the questions that you can be like, this, and that gives me my 4-letter nomenclature, if you will. Okay, my 4-letter identifier of what personality type I am. Now, for mine, came up with INFJ. Okay, and those are the intuitive, the helpers, the wanting to help, the wanting to fix. Now, I don't fit perfectly in that picture. I probably 80%, yes, but I have little smatterings from other places, because it's not going to be a neat picture. Okay, so that's one tool. All right, but then you definitely have the self-awareness stuff out there. One of the books, actually, I just finished it today. Took me a little bit of time, because it's trying to take it piece by piece. It's like eating an elephant. How do you do it? Piece by piece. Because it's pretty substantial. It's 600-page book. And it's called Full Catastrophe Living by John Kabat-Zinn. Okay, and it's about mindfulness and being aware and being present in the moment. There's nothing wrong with your thoughts. Okay, what we have a tendency to do, and I know I was huge with this, is that's a bad thought. I'm having negative thoughts. Negative is bad. I shouldn't be having these thoughts. Or that's a good thought. I feel happy. Have the reaction you're going to have, okay? However, because I will never try and take away feelings, I will never invalidate or try to invalidate feelings, but being in the moment is just, it's not sitting, it's not being still, it's enjoying what is going on around you. Yes, you can sit, you can just be still, you can also be moving. You can be outside. You can feel the ground under your shoes, under your feet. You can feel the wind on your skin. You can hear the leaves. You can hear the rain. You can feel the rain. But you are in that exact moment. You aren't trying to plan next Tuesday night's dinner in your brain while you're there. And this is huge, especially for folks who have kids. Especially if you have toddlers or younger children, or even adolescents, okay? Just kids in general. This is huge because they want you there. They're so much better than us with this because they are in the moment. They really are. They're not trying to plan dinner. They're not even trying to plan a snack 15 minutes from the moment that they're in. And it's incredible just to sit and watch them. Because for me personally, this is, like I said, if something helps me, I will try to share it. It may not work for you, but for me, that is what really helps keep me in the moment. Is like I will kind of do that. I will watch them, and I'm like, man, this is incredible. Now, the other aspect of this is don't try to force your thoughts. You're not trying to silence them. You're not trying to quiet them. You're not trying to stop them. Let your thoughts happen. And this is in the book. This is all in the book. You let your thoughts happen. You observe them. You pay attention to still what's kind of going on around you, but you let your thought. Now, if it starts to keep going and you start really going down that rabbit hole, you gently bring it back around to the moment. And one of the things that they talked about in this and trying to help you with that is breathing. Paying attention to your breathing. Not, I need to inhale. I need to exhale. They go through the steps in there. What I do is I envision it actually moving from external, right, through my whole thing, and I feel it. I try to pay attention to it as it comes all the way through. Like, not just like I'm inhaling air all the way down to my belly and then back out. Like, when I'm really trying to do this, and I do the meditations in the morning, I've started doing the deep sleep or deep meditations with the sound waves at night as well now. But when I do this, for me, like if I'm doing my morning one, I just sit. That's it. I don't do anything else. I sit, I listen to the sounds around me, I feel whatever it is that I feel physically around me and in the presence around me. I hear the sounds and I just breathe. I just slow, steady thing. I'm not forcing it. It is a natural. That was, I took a deep breath for dramatic effect, if you will. But I just breathe. I pay attention to it. You need to let it be natural. And then you observe. You're in that exact moment. And it helps because you can use this throughout the day. Yeah, in the morning I take a dedicated block of time. I'm like, okay, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Soon, I'm going to start incorporating the yoga. It's a little bit difficult to try and time things right now with the toddlers, the kiddos waking up and getting them settled for the day, and their morning, rather, not the day, but letting them get settled for their morning and keep their routines, because that's important to me. Getting them to have their normal routines as best as possible. And going through all this stuff, though, okay, so that's just one small aspect, and I'm sure we'll probably do a lot more the self-aware stuff now, and also started reading, so Alchemy 365 is a book about daily self-awareness. So is the Book of Awakening. Okay, there's so much out there. This is just kind of a primer, an intro into it, and so one of the last thing I want to touch on, while I still hopefully have time, I don't remember the time as far as what I'm allowed to upload or not, is as part of the self-awareness and self-reflection is the introspective type things, looking at you to help kind of figure out what's going on, and how to help, for you to help or best help yourself, rather. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to actually do these questions myself, but the 15 questions to ask yourself. One, who am I really? Right now, I'd like to say I'm a good guy. I made mistakes. I wasn't mindful. I didn't fully view or take into consideration the impact of me reaching out to other people to try and help a situation, and it made that situation worse for that individual. And there's, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do to kind of bring that back. So that was question one. Who am I really? Question two, what worries me most about the future? Question three, if this were my last day of my life, would I have the same plans for today? Then, and we'll get more involved in these. What am I really scared of? It's valid, definitely valid. Am I holding on to something I need to let go of? If not now, then when? That's the next question, okay? What matters most in my life? What am I doing about the things that matter the most in my life? Why do I matter? That's huge, huge. I wrote that one down, and I was just like, wow, yikes. Okay. Have I done anything lately that's worth remembering? Have I made someone smile today? What have I given up on? When did I last push the boundaries of my comfort zone? If I had to install one piece of advice in a newborn baby, what advice would I give? What small act of kindness was I shown once that I will never forget? So those are questions definitely going to answer tonight. I've already got some that are kind of starting to formulate in the brain. And journaling. Journaling is another huge thing, and that's where I'm going to kind of put my answers in the journal. So stay tuned. I hope this helps someone out there. It's a scary road, man. And it doesn't have to be taken alone. Have support. Find someone. If you need someone, I don't know. I don't know if YouTube sends messages or not, but look on Instagram. It's there. Domesticated Combat Medic. And we'll see you on the next episode, I guess. Thanks. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, all that stuff that everybody always says at the beginning of their videos. Thanks.